Hey guys, today we are looking at how to solve one-step equations, and we're going to use representations like strip diagrams to help us solve them. So we're going to work through a series of 4 problems, one subtraction, one addition, one multiplication, and one division. And then you guys are going to work on your own for a little bit. So the first one we have is x minus 17 is equal to 31. And so I can represent this by saying, here is my unknown value of x. Here's my unknown value of x. And when I take away 17, or when I combine it with a negative 17, either way, we get that that is equal to a positive 31. Right, so my goal when I solve equations is to find what the value of one of the variables is. And I know I do that by creating 0 pairs and using inverse operations. And so I see that right now x is with a negative 17. And so what I will do is I'm going to put a positive 17. But if I put it on one side of the equation, I will need to represent it and put it on the other. And so algebraically what we're doing is we said, hey, x minus 17 is 31. I put plus 17 on both sides, and that will cancel out. So we'll have a 0 pair right here. A 0 pair, so we're left with x will equal 31 combined with 17. So x will equal 48. And we can use that same kind of thinking to represent the next one. So now we have x combined with 14, and it's equal to a negative 4. Again, I just want x by itself, so I'm going to extend, and I'm going to put 14 negatives. Well, I put 14 negatives because I need to cancel out the 14 positives. But I will put them on both sides because I want to keep it balanced. And so we have our 0 pair. 14 and negative 14 makes 0. And so I am left with x is equal to, and we have 4 negatives, and then we have 14 negatives. So that is 18 negatives that we are left with. All right, let's look at 2 more. So now we have 5p is equal to negative 30. So this is a little different. Now we have a multiplicative equation. And instead of just having one variable already, now I have 5 groups of p. So when I draw my strip diagram, I'll represent that with 5 p's. And I know each of the 5 p's combines to make negative 30. But again, I only want one value of p. So I need to figure out how to share 30 negatives equally into each of the 5 p's. And what operation that is when we're sharing equally, we're dividing. So we're going to divide 5p equals negative 30 into 5 groups. And when we get that each group of p is equivalent to a negative 6. Because they need to equal the same thing, they are the same variable. Okay, and if we wanted to check, we could just take this value of negative 6 and say, hey, 5 times negative 6, does that equal negative 30? And it sure does, and we have verified our solution. And our last one that we're going to look at, this is our division representation. And we have an x, and it's being divided into 4 pieces. So here we have x, and it's divided into 4 pieces. And it says when x is divided into 4, each of them is negative 3. So that means that this is negative 3, this is negative 3, this is negative 3, and this is negative 3. So then to find my whole x, again, The inverse of division is multiplication. I just need 4 groups of -3. So when I multiply by 4, I get that x is equal to -12. And again, I could plug it in and check. -12 divided by 4 does give me that -3, and my solution is verified. All right, thanks, guys.